Nasenafi, a day agude munsam at the broad, now good munsam at the broad yard. The focus in say, I was say, yes, say, be analyze games not to media amount, make my catch us. This is pre-season games not starting the 10 Yansam Ketua. Sasuna transfers, no, hey, and Yansam Ketua. Endra, Chelsea, and a Arsenal, to me, a Coben Chrome. I'm a branch friend, Noni Madwiki. Menoka say, dear, or your Arsenal, a year player. Subject to a year medicals, and also to me medicals or pass medicals. Nadia, a coin biaso, obey to me joining us. And say personally, on one case I agree. A 5 years deal, so and a Chelsea 52 million pounds, and almost to me the AJ, our brand and one. Say conversation I. Keja ebi mo se o 23 na fi na o peja ni mu se ka Chelsea nya botre ni adia Arsenal for no so supporters na ebi mo started say almost sign petition ni ade na ebi mo started so shift say o say Saka be nya a worthy player obetime replace no omo mane mo matches ni nyina ebi mo so na oni kwanka Arsenal the sign no omo pe Rodrigo ebi mo so omo pe Jokeres any ade. We are going to look at the signing of a year, and I said the transfer of Noni Madueke from Chelsea to Arsenal, the impact on Chelsea and how it will impact a year Arsenal in their a year targeter a woman same as a year Chelsea. You be room near this uncommon. I feel Ukopiema Rodrigo Goes. It is clear that I'm here will be free. Bobo kwa ye friend no Real Madrid no fi Real Madrid ahemfa na okọ wo hwe ni wage na two areas pe another two places pe eno mbetumi adan atumi assign no and then wages no enye two places teams kakra bi eno mbetumi adan assign no okọ Saudi League no dia eno mbetumi aka se team bi wo mbia betumi assign no but over Premier League na you were one or two teams be almost obey to my day assigning no. Then Bayern Munich, then Paris Saint-Germain. I think say in Italy there SMBC ho. So I na so kwa team you be sign be SMB to Messi e won because music assembly ncha da any rosa. You be sure if Rodrigo, where is his future? Where does his future lie? You be sure near di hu san komo na afi bibia so etumi akoye. Other transfers near there. Tottenham Hotspur, hey. And after Kudus na ye hu na Morgan Gibbs White almost signing a free a year Nottingham Forest. No Nottingham Forest for said there be a queen Tottenham Hotspur for the fast so they sign a branch and no money to more report you the Premier League for no so omunya investigations no one train almost. But player na there me no ka say there or kwakoye a year bubu kwa ye friend no Tottenham Hotspur. Ya tin emenya ntie say a branch your friend Watson onimbo brutal sa player no say bobo kwa e friend no Tottenham so e kwa kofa no edna amaba Henderson ene oje peni akosi na kan e de ama Brentford e wo no ma enye asem keto akra eti transfers ne de bebre etwagu ye berewrem na Nicolas Jackson so e de so ni na mu AC Milan no Oscar oniska sa a obetima sign e Chelsea akokọ be de ne sa enti ane ma for do na ka say na project be ni say players no nyomu at least o ma bo season na ja mo picking kakra no a so benya abotrama mo na o ton de a na the same recycling na new players ne be ba mo be bo one or two no waton mo na the same recycling na Chelsea be dey no to me close cap no because winning the Premier League is the ultimate yastika omondi betumi de aye de ajeje Chelsea G Premier League na cheye pa ti ebe di san komo no say die Chelsea project no say net a as a team bia bo mu player ho a na as omo kwando say omo ja player no kwan amana ko ebe di san komo na afi bia so atumi aye dem akoye Real Madrid asa ensam no anya asem keto a kofo ni team no masa brutal makase Alonso no ntumi nya adwuma no if say team ho na say Ancelotti say ono dey in terms of man management or the best to me the best out of players na say or to me the best out of players Jose Mourinho and Jurgen Klopp and two coaches I was all the omoba na okofa mushroom coach asem no eni betumi ayedin pa nti ye bedi san komo no na yahwe Madrid issues no na fe di wombia yetumi ache the list of Vincent wa mrepamu beti Benedict wa mrepamu beti Vincent nka bibia tumi akoye before then ye bekọ man better education afi ahwe na bibia so etumi akoye wia na ye ba be rag games ma na Friday tisha no so ye bebo mode a na yetumi ewuramu extensively Chelsea versus Paris Saint-Germain ye be disa enkomo ni ye ba Benedict memo akwa ba
yeah list of me so
da bia kama de
bibia kama
yeah yeah man better education
yeah yeah come on bet the onim say time be eba ha be too for say ope be atwa bet afi scare MYBET.AFRICA enye say bia we football pe and matches pe na obetimi enya MYBET.AFRICA aviator wo o aviator ne mu ede papa ntimi say weekend nim be du sa na ende be we aviator ho na boba akomienu dia face kan ti ene call www.mybet.africa oko top right corner be hu icon be a circle ni green umi aso a na afide obehu login any register me register ne so on register na steps near 3 steps simple first one your phone number oboshem wia the audio mobile money transactions na oboshem the next one your username nickname udin ufie din edin bia pese o use bia betime use but so obone bia omoka so bia use de da kai obetime the number ba ku mienu account say na be man na unique ama ope na afide wabo password ashim obo password ni wi eno anu no umia register ne so waba be come MYBET ebusuan ho on be send verification code now they verify our account na afide on so we run platform ade ba kwa MYBET for say emfa mo ene o mo ma 3 way options o mo say run platform ne so na be use bi first one bet builder time bia meka say games na do so but one you lucky about select game bia na me no so na osike na agba ko shiegu nti ene ufa games ba ku mienu miensa no the bet builder or no o 10 no de ne pe no an be bet builder na afide we bet builder one game mutimi 10 selections wo nti bia o ko team ni straight win 1.5 corners booking handicap nini na wo wa betimi ai sa selection ni dia face kai nti ne FIFA Club World Cup finally handicap any other options bi wo ha betimi afa we betimi dia build o bet ye MYBET.AFRICA enye no pe omo wia omo sanse aka bonus why your selections na wie no no omo the aka bonus asan tie which nti ene why selections of 30 or more and 20 or more no mama aka bonus of 1500%. Ghana betting company bi ama why 1000 but my bet be 1500%. Now bonus no munye du se na osika no mu so be dudu se opese fiscal on platform a obi o ha weekend ba be du onim se ne ono abe hye ne bet hye ne du be bi eden afi na obechi na hwe platform ahwe teams no standings ni omo bi bia nti ene my bet the bet feet aba bet feet in na che say ukọ ho a MYBET ape expect ono ma hihye bet ne gu ho nti ukọ ha say 2 odds na ape 5 odds na ape 10 odds na ape 20 na ape a o boss wa na afiri wo hu odds ni na no ahwe odds na wo ho na we ni je ho a umia so a na nso wakom enye se bi o ma hye bet ni se by force ko na kotwa because minim so bi beka say o ma hye no mde ba ko afra se ne ense no da bi umia so a o options a wa de be ko bet na o ma hye mu ukomu a die o feliso edu bebi a we die mbo a me pese mesesa no timi sesa changes bia ope wo uwia na afi de world sika taichi na onso etimi afi sika MYBET.AFRICA nti enu nti MYBET force brown platform na be fiscal nti weekend we die women AFCON ne koso we women Euros ne nso koso na FIFA Club World Cup ne nso be koso nti weekend we die kwan bia so no ubetimi aye skeni nti bra na be fiscal MYBET.AFRICA.
Right, inti no yenhwe transfers no na yendi hu nkomo.
Yes, see we transfers no man started with transfer I think yedi hu nkomo aba bepem in dry numera hu se bibia timi ko ye that is Noni Madueke to Arsenal. Na ohwe conversation no man na Arsenal for her say the 50 million aba. Na 50 no mo de buy na including add-ons. And no mo her say Chelsea betimi agya atum na bibia timi akoye. And Chelsea for said there be 50 need ye so am pay more than 50 because omo value Madueke to say senior we Nottingham Forest since we timi ton Elanga Emma Newcastle nti na afi dem komo ne kokoso nti si an ba be do so okay Arsenal percent you in 42 that is 42 fixed money na afi the 10% and 10 million add-ons nti na ni na ba be 52 na add-ons near achievable Emma Chelsea and nti ndra omuji bibia 2 months see Noni Madueke ade aka so obekwa akoye ne medicals na afidi oba be Arsenal player no officially o ma announce no Oshet Noni Madueke development from PSV or Tottenham Academy and Oko PSV and a Chelsea the Coton. Chelsea turned 29 million from PSV. And they umetimenya 52 in 2 years. Chelsea timenya mfaso ye. Send your kind of baby says na Chelsea project no. And yes, be on person will build a team on the boom for the next 10 years. And as one more years will be back on Manako. But the idea behind Chelsea project is on person will build a team for the next 10, 15 and 5 years. But Nini Nansu Jina so say on build the team no. Ye the biba be ka ho na mu komunim. But so who say bia o twetwe ho ba ko mienu a ye ntwen o omu yi wasan and omu yi wesi nchen se no betima to aso. Se na project na be omo owo mu tirim so mpese omu du no betimi edu. Ye ne nim say with Enzo Maresca be so team no. Inyama timi koyo ma qualify for the Champions League or ma FIFA or ma GFN saying Conference League ni so e FIFA Club World Cup final. Omo hwe against Paris Saint-Germain so betimi age. Nti project in the sanity here. Nti ma Chelsea fan bia enye worried and enye no wan say players ni bi yeti so omo beko ana bibia ni na gina say omo hwe na say doubt kakra wo ho a omo mpese squad no saa inyama nkitinkiti bebem na afi de doubt bebre aba squad nti say wo pese wo kwa na sika ne ye na bibia timi to yi am betimi agya akwa am wako ene no ni Madueke ba be Arsenal player hwe senya Arteta ebetimi yi so no ndra mbeka ha say na minji ndi so ka Arsenal plan so coming into next season say be on person motono. But the idea is MGD said there was a project Noni Madueke agent and there was a project better Arsenal for sporting director presenting man Noni Madueke or Philly say a good ahead of the build or Chelsea in Tinene with me a movie. See Gina Chelsea in same so there Amugu player Chelsea cover in January and they omni strike box for dim komo as we been in no mooding komo so beton permanently I'm a strike box. I'm making sure say or no subit me movie akwakunya more game time. Chelsea fans ni be bisa na player we ndade na mo fani nkolon. But in name say clubs ni wo loan space and a loan we be into say players be o wa. Obi say either Jorgensen and Pendes ba ko loan or struggle. Tene untumi fa players be nkolon na o club akwa. This say utombi na fi de aka ni nkolon nti na mugu akolo no. Na loan no kono or buyback clause e shemu. And some was selling on close shame tene so corner the modern body so any wo Chelsea betimi asan kwa akoto ma de back and I say bia Chelsea na dream process or mo ton ne free ho akọ team fufura omo san benya skakaka time one no na business Chelsea for hwe so betimi at least players no makọ form aba no nye say bia omo de omo tenet na nche am enyama nko ye but omo try so betimi pion no omo so level omo pese omo do football no omo so betimi edu na Chelsea and now no pay yet it say Nicolas Jackson who sem asem we mbeka wa ha some time back say Nicolas Jackson Noni Madueke these are players one look at Chelsea bit major mkwa mako because o share the way Enzo Maresca building the team the way omo top players eba na so omo hwe na competition untimi fight now Philly said the number 1 position e bia wo na say utimi gina ho body one look at ho be fa oye pa ene AC Milan aba ho AC Milan wo interest ye pa wo Nicolas Jackson mu dano ye ka Nicolas Jackson won sem be di nkomo say team omu discover ne
Nicolas looking at say o Madueke yes. Let's look at how does the signing no
yeah
Arsenal how does it affect Arsenal transfers, where does it fit in, what is Arteta trying to do with him. Then Chelsea, so Okono, does it mean he should be replaced, or you think say it is okay near the end?
Ushe Noni Madueke Arteta turn purposely because or believe say boy any bit me about that is the left wing position. Aman. Intene senior me who say nkofo bebreka say o onko start wa Arsenal na or back up to Saka derby. Arsenal end term 52 million. Enko to player some bambe backup e wa Arsenal. Intene omo turn for the left wing position. Intene obegina sa position no abo season start ya e ho na Noni Madueke best start. Arteta hwe player ne quality sokuta. Yemfa bibianto nchen ope player or direct 1v1. So betimi are taking on the players. Noni Madueke players be abodi ya untimi ni di frame. Or very good on the ball. ba aka ne nyama ba ko mienu bi a Ateta be so betimi aboa no na wetimi develop ye nti Arsenal side there e be affect him bebre because ene yo mewe mu with 52 million na wakfa no ni Madueke no e che say player bit Rodrigo omuntimi nsan no ene meaning say their main focus this season transfer ne be call player friend no either Victor Gyökeres so na who's a Victor Gyökeres so ama Sporting for ati say ne training no mo ye no and ene be o ma ba so mba be training no on be join team no into on be join team na meaning say sisi ano so omutimi etutu omonyama yi na afidi omutimi ni Arsenal edi nkomo ansa na Arsenal atwe ne ho be na emetimi ama ahwefo na ati say Arsenal ayo ma dwen say Victor Gyökeres move no by next week enyama ntimi anko yi a ombedani omeni akwa akohwe Oli Watkins ahwe so mbetimi nya Oli Watkins edi na ba ombetimi nya Oli Watkins de na ba we a friend saying ombenya Oli Watkins edi na ba Arsenal nti ene say Victor Gyökeres move no Sporting for twetwe omo na ase a Arsenal beja ho akwa akofa player friend Oli Watkins na say Arsenal akofa Oli Watkins a enu nso bie kwan biom Emma Unai Emery betimi nya ne number 9 a on the ball ever Villarreal nti ene transfers no ekeka koni na ekeka twa ne ho obi be bisa se Chelsea no ni Madueke free Chelsea no then e be affect Chelsea as we replace a right winger bioma derby because has a Chelsea with the right wing position no we is secured for the next 5 years that is Estavio any player friend with Pedro Neto because on young and experienced in Pedro Neto nti ene on be sure obi ono so be ba boa Gittins nti so who's a Chelsea real transfer market ni biom for a winger e ba be a left winger ene who's a din bibra be ba bontin na nko mo hwe Nwaneri etani Nwaneri ba ene omam Arsenal mo mati as a player ni contract no kwan bia so betimi renew nti ene Chelsea be hwe other options ye who's a Chelsea fans ni bibra bomu say omunya Rodrigo ana player friend of Morgan Rogers or Mope. These are two quality players, but Chelsea players are all sure mono. A project no mo person mo build and more of marquee signing sending anka fans ni nyanka betimi abamu no. O share Rodrigo and the salary Rodrigo Madrid 240,000. A folly under Chelsea wage no pepepe. Those say the likes of Sterling, the likes of Benchen will betimi akọ. Chelsea highest paid player is James, that is 250. It is a Rodrigo Beba no beji the same or better so kakra just to be at Chelsea a bit me abom but I don't think going in for Gittins Chelsea some betis ka kese biom so amko akofa player friend Rodrigo nti there are two players are either Chelsea will try and get them that is Malik Fofana and the elders of Juventus nti ye behwe with after FIFA Club World Cup no Chelsea be business ye pa nti free Sunday we ko next week Monday ye beti Chelsea din or transfer window nti we no ni Madueke with two sides eboa Arsenal eboa Chelsea etimi nya ska kakra no nso betimi bi aka ho akwakoto that left winger opese oba ebeboa Jamie Gittins and Arsenal nso nya player bia ono nso betimi abo from the right obetimi abo from the left now wetimi asan ball as a 10 nti ene two transfers in there ye behwe season start here and bibia betimi akoye but I think Noni Madueke on konko bench players Arsenal kwan bia so no maybe next season Arsenal first game or betimi start here the Gunners nti mami Fenra Nicholas Jackson we no rumor say course say kwan bia so ebi obetimi e free Chelsea it's a good offer ba as and now Chelsea value Nicholas Jackson around 45 to 50 million nti ene AC Milan nya nko mo pe say ne style of play no fit say omo person omo born next season but sikasem no na ba be problem meaning say English clubs na omo person omo ni Italian clubs ni edi especially so omo ton player more ma because Italy for no ba alone no ba beji but so no player na akwa gine di no person omo ni scanning ni na nti ene minjin this Chelsea go those omo ni AC Milan a good relationship but I don't think say anything concerning loan Chelsea betie either say sika no mu yedu omo feel say favorable mom na afedi o ma yeden o ma toto omo nyama yi enye saade a and the ombe o ma dwen say Nicholas Jackson betina but say Arsenal any Victor Gyökeres move ni ntimi anko true na Arsenal we mu ekofa Oli Watkins dia and there Unai Emery betimi nya Nicholas Jackson because the moment Unai Emery beba picture no Nicholas Jackson or your coach bi on na ye dwumada and obe feel more comfortable working with Unai Emery saying with coach Bia even in the Premier League or outside the Premier League. Nti ene Jackson maybe ahye nensa say from now to transfer windows ni beko na wie no. New opportunity bi obenya, chance bi obenya, senior time bi amba ha meka no. Chance bi obenya no on taking ye. When ya almost getting to a season and a half or Chelsea. And then so it me prove a lot. Me gidi say Jackson it me convert a lot of goals. And my 25 goals a season. I mean gidi say Chelsea be remove for the likes of Liam Delap more anyway because or more potent striker no more. But any with goals ne eswatine chances no say na doors ni na Chelsea we make for Joao Pedro. Ono so aba be prove a point into Nicolas Jackson either say oba be a third striker to the team and also be finding a place to move. You share that transfers are in him say Jordan Henderson since you aba be signing am at Brentford free time and no guard call now he on finfi one to kura aba be that whole year experience wise no mu hi obi obetimi aba be boa team no so mu person mu maintaining that league mid table spots and every time you mu team maintaining their unhia experience na ade a Jordan Henderson na the bro me say or ye Premier League proven wa captain Liverpool agi Premier League ne da wa boy so bo wiase me na wa bo akọ Saudi akọ jiska kakra edu bebi oba ya senso be born no modern ene Brentford for so mbetimi na ba I think oba be a good sign na ma Brentford leadership ade ba ko omu hia nti ene ne signing to Brentford ne ade ba ko a I think say be bo omu ye with that leadership quality or the beba and also experience onim senia game in game out obetimi abon homodin ama enyama etimi akoyi nti ene I think e ba be a good signing ama Brentford a enyama betimi akoyi ewo na yenhwe ye friend is saying about transfers enim say do transfers bia eya ankofo bebredi nkomo Chelsea say iska enne na Chelsea to ochena na Chelsea to say na Chelsea to but any report aba ne say ohwe the highest team wetimi a lot of incomes from transfers Chelsea na number 1.
Okay.
Chelsea na number 1. Those meaning say those almost spend it, but we make sure so mutimi nyeska if you on players mu. Even players or mutimi nyeska nti na hwe picture that's why Chelsea sika omenya from incoming in quite 1.57 billion. We hwe teams to so the likes of Benfica and say Benfica a selling club. Juventus enso a club bi onu so timiton players here. Ena Monaco, Barcelona, Dortmund, Atletico, Ajax, Manchester City, and Man United. Into incomes coming into the club, especially transfers, no Chelsea and the Dikanye and the Omo more than any noni madweke musika babe count. Players are so you be omujo omukwan so sika babe count. Any Omo more than ama bibia etimi akoye. Indra yehu announcement kese from Tottenham on Mohamed Kudus. Na announcement no emu ehwam ye papa hwa 2 videos omo post here wa abonten na ade ba kwa manage hu. The first one about introducing Mohamed Kudus, and I think na kwan bia so no would have heard Mohamed Kudus saying say na Tottenham na team na ope because you nim say every time na Fabrizio and any other sports journalist be posti concerning Kudus transfer no they state in it say kwan bia so Tottenham pe na team na onyo mudi nkomonti na an announcement video mama eti asese no na announcement video with Stoneboy nyom esan na mechia that is ade ba ko a ye pesi ehu football any entertainment mixi ye na Tottenham assign player ni ehu the likes of Mohamed Kudus ehu Partey ono nso ehu Declan Rice Odumodu Black monso timinya kwante na ye hwe so that would also give that room for our musicians and they obi hwe sa interview no ba ko hwe and obe cautious amahwe artist ben EDH no dey hu say Stoneboy of Ghana Morgan Rogers to Tottenham ye hu say hu nsem bebre ade ntini say na boy no release clause and a Tottenham a trigger but ade ba ko ni say enim say mostly no Tottenham there obeto player obetwentwen so but ohwe Thomas Frank utimu say wa kire Daniel Levy players ope and na video omoko in very hard for those players and until you say within 48 hours Tottenham metimi assign 2 key players preparing for next season Champions League and my way if say before season be starting no Tottenham bebo Super Cup with Paris Saint-Germain until any otimi and signings in them no mutimi start your training year ebia that game bet me Mohamed Kudus, Thomas Frank, and Morgan Rogers on my first trophy on bet me winning, and it to be an European trophy.
Okay.
Nti no mo to mo transfer ni omo nyama ye no.
Anti answer I think say Kudus the end day.
It's done. Yeah.
Maybe or be fit in. I think say he will not even get a direct competitor cry on that side because they be almost used to you say coach in the left footer playing from the right.
Right, yeah.
And player or how left footer and so no any will be obey above from the wings. Kulusevski.
Yeah.
Now what happens to them? Kulusevski ne Madison because they are players of the creativity from the central area no of the creativity then eba now what does Morgan Gibbs White at the bars are two players went to me from Mom and if the coach ba na onye training kra onye on board one match kra na or started top player at the bar baby aye we just ba ko be kono no I don't know what does it bring that these two players doesn't
O share Thomas Frank the way or set up the team any the way any team boy or person the team obi or pack this will be aye juma into any o share the number 10s that is Damsgaard o share Norgard o share Kelvin Shadam they make sure say every time biano so mu new ball na omo press aje na o share Tottenham team no ma players are bomb ni Kulusevski or very good with his left foot o share the way your ball the ball no o share or Tottenham setup no ma okay more of that Gary Bill Tottenham ne sting no nya no but ene Madison you who a lot of times Angie now or a lot of problem with Madison especially off the ball Madison a player bia or mouse creativity up front but off the ball say you be boa with pressing any nyama be brain on time ni sa energy no be no into ene you who say omako in for Gibbs White and now Mohamed Kudus a coach ni per players on the ball off the ball work creating very high you name him say Gibbs White about creativity or one of the best you who are no a man Nottingham Forest last season a bass on be chimbe press and attacking baby be or yeni now that is the same as Mohamed Kudus so now kind this leaves a big question to play a friend Madison say coach aba na onye training section impo no to replacement meaning say from afar no was steady will game who send your ball no and of Philly say untimi fit into his system into any or the competition eba just to make you feel say you need to up your game and as obey club and you say before the end of this transfer window Madison beat me free Tottenham space because o share that 10 ruler Gibbs White beat me abo Mohamed Kudus beat me abo on the right wing Mohamed Kudus beat me abo Brennan Johnson is beat me abo also from the right wing into any or shape players are on the ball off the ball are very good. They can press, they can tackle. Brennan Johnson is one of the best in this Tottenham setup. Say pass, yen press, yen tackle, yen dibo echi. See you lose ball now. Obama side the same as Kudus, the same as with Gibbs White or no so. But the likes of Madison, Quine Bia, Tottenham beat major and Quine. Tottenham also yes our strategy new of. Sisiano new coach aba. Yes, signing players no pen na for the we are. Ya share outgoings. In January was a season no. Ebe chance no na obi a friend Madison e bia no onye Tottenham player bio.
Okay. Yeah.
Listo mama chat here for na minura transfer menra say minya time ra Kudus deal the monty and me share the number of players Mohamed Kudus is going to compete with. In fact, Brennan Johnson, Dejan Kulusevski and me share say over 20 Mohamed Kudus starts. Me catch say he will be competing with some players. And Kudus, I did about Kudus, and
I think we share the way we set it up.
Yes, and
the way we set it up, it will be very difficult for Sena Kulusevski or more. They don't run. What I say? Any idea? I don't know. It is obvious. Well, or the offer winning because
and even they have this young chap. Odobet. He is also winger, very fast. But then, we check Thomas Frank team now. There's a reason why Morgan Gibbs White is coming. And last season, so if you're not time for his team now, they were mainly low block teams are not about counter attacking football. And why we players all Thomas, players they are very good in transition, especially in counter breaks.
About transitional football.
Yes, Obitze Morgan Gibbs White. In fact, Obe check the numbers, ni goals and assists, but then he was that player now. Say if defenders neji ball Eula aina mo anomu goalkeeper neji ball the first person on the man before Ilanga Wood any obiti say Hudson Odoi member run he is the player obe make that final third pass and sana bibia betimi hiding akọ anymore. In fact we check it, two players are ideally Dejan Kulusevski I with the inclusion of even Morgan Gibbs at Crampono, and also he will be competing because I see say this is a coach he likes to play one DM in front of the players, and in fact there are games that he can even play both James Maddison and Gibbs White. Maddison is a very good player for Tottenham Hotspur, but then also the injury situation, and so now you compare Kudus to Dejan Kulusevski and Brendan Johnson last season. Medical catches say what they players na me no obi all they could form and compare these players in terms of the team na no ball and the form they played in terms of goals and assists. He last season Brendan Johnson 11 goals in the Premier League. I mean incredible numbers in terms of goals for Tottenham Hotspur. So provided 3 assists. Kulusevski last season 7 goals for 7 goals and 4 assists. But then there are a lot of things Kudus ever be added to Obiti Thomas Frank one year and we would see Mohamed Kudus if Otimu work on the finishing and then if when to pass and when to score, he will be an important player for Thomas Frank, especially like how Otimi integrity Mbuemo to any setup. Into actual list now in terms of the goals and assists, any BBR they are ahead of him, but shots per goal, dribbles attempted, successful dribbles, any carries per 90. There's just one player per and because he did more carries. So be the Dejan Kulusevski or a very slow, just like that Kopama more type, but they carry the ball or more cover distance. So in as much as Onye Pesi, to say Mbuemo, he's not that strong, but then Dejan Kulusevski, one of the players in terms of say the ball, a carry ball in the Premier League, he was one of those players, and I think that Kudus Mohamed ne talent ne BB Ekita, and he's one player I think say Obetimi actually ultimately at the Tottenham Hotspur. Now I want to enter into Madueke issue, no, and the rants, comments, criticisms from Arsenal players, and there's been conversations that Chelsea is forcing the player out of their squad. And David Oyster and Ben Jacobs may report to say Chelsea are okay. Madueke say Obetimi movie from US to United to the United Kingdom. To complete the medicals now. I hear so Nyame adom channel to Sunday biano. Arsenal for Obetimi complete a move, no, and I don't know why Chelsea are rushing things. Especially it's sad say at least he's been playing for the tournament and I can't just a day to the game. I believe that if player now agree personal terms, clubs and also agree, they should just allow him to just play the final, at least be part of the squad, or at least Obetimi medal, whether it's going to be a gold medal or it's going to be a silver medal, orange medal, and then after there maybe Sunday now he'll move right after the game to United Kingdom. But then I don't know the decision. It's just like both clubs, the player and the team are all keen for the move to happen so fast. But then and then now for Kakra, and there's a reason why the reason why some Arsenal fans since Madueke deal with buy and they've been saying no to Madueke hashtags and they almost me a petition over 4,000 people doing that petition not to bring Noni Madueke to Chelsea, and the work Noni Madueke to Arsenal. And Washa last week or last 2 weeks ago maybe explaining the reason why Arsenal has been signing Chelsea players, and most of the reasons, some of the players will move and currently Madueke move finally official. It means that he's going to be the second player our movie from Chelsea to team and the Arsenal. In fact, Okwakwe the 5th player to move from Chelsea to Arsenal for the last 2 seasons. If you now say checking on Madueke listo, he is a player that may free our free Chelsea na and you see sometimes anytime I can say so what the goals in assist per judge players are sometimes you are not being fair. We will be a a scouting school and I have a let's say scouting report or like question something about football scouting, data driven editor players. There are a lot of things So if your ball no see as if will be actually back or passing ball will be actually you might not see the importance and how a lot of players offer to most of the teams. And in fact, I can say it by fact. Say Noni Madueke, over in the Premier League, who pay players are say yen carry ball. Now ball and result in a shot and a goal. Or you one or you top 2 in the Premier League. He's not scoring. He's not providing the assist that people believe that because you check it, we can this season and that is 2.5 seasons at Chelsea. After from PSV to Chelsea, we bought half season at Chelsea. Last season we bought full season under Enzo Maresca, and then we bought a year. Or a full season under Pochettino, and last season we bought a full season under Enzo Maresca. And they say virus beat me day a year Noni Madueke versus Saka. Any Martinelli starting that to some, and people believe that there's a reason why Arsenal coaching staffs, their technical people don't at all Noni Madueke they want, despite the fact that he's coming to join their long one, yes. And you see, I have some 2 or 3 facts, but at least to me believes that some of the Arsenal fans are not happy with the move. One, the amount of money they are paying. Akwakwe say Chelsea needs money. They need to sell players to clear their books. And to player. And regarding say Chelsea bought the player for as low as 26 or 29 million pounds, then you are buying the player for 52 million pounds. It means that almost times 2 the scanner Chelsea the quarter for 2.5 seasons ago. And as an Arsenal fan, no, you won't support the team. Coach says can their match Chelsea money they are clear the books, then was also there top more players they are banning team. Now another one so say you look at Noni Madueke, they believe that why should he even spend 52 million to go and buy a player who is going to be a backup to Bukayo Saka? And that is questions the Arsenal people are asking. Say I don't ever say 52 million akwakoto Noni Madueke or babe a backup to obiti say Bukayo Saka. Even from the left side when I saw the boyfriend, one in a comfortable zone. So any day if Martinelli now Noni Madueke to start from the left side, you will always start player now naturally or boss our position. So the Arsenal people are asking that question. And again, they also ask and say Ethan Nwaneri Crampono last season in the glimpses anyhow Bonche say he obeyed me an incredible backup to Bukayo Saka. So why should we even spend money to go and buy Noni Madueke for 52 million to come and be a backup to Bukayo Saka? Meanwhile, your Ethan Nwaneri, even Chelsea are even asking Arsenal that if they can buy that boy. So the Arsenal fans are asking questions, and there's a lot of things and also and they're also asking about recently Chelsea players are about Arsenal, especially Obita Will and Sterling. They've been ineffective for Arsenal. So they just don't like the fact that anytime be a Chelsea fans cry say Arsenal for Chelsea reject goose on the far and Koyi. So the fans say no to Madueke deal. And I think that even Madueke as a player, the advisors will not even advise him to reading such things, especially a bit more for that move. But then
don't you think that will rather motivate him? For
but,
them that is what they get their
on
motivation
it will rather, but on say players no be how our oppressive in here. So I think that he will even pay attention to ASR social media. Now listen, you look to Madueke average 3.52 shots per game in the Premier League last season. That is the most for any Chelsea player. Chelsea player being or averaging more shots per 90 than Noni Madueke. So there might be a game no from a different perspective. But the coaches and the technical people no, they have some ways player. The last time maybe explaining Obita Brentford team they don't have an academy, no money academy. It was people are only betting company be say MYBET. And no matter team say okay. So I didn't know they build the odds no. Ma investors quiet na who say say match be ko ma Chelsea 2-0. That data no they build the odds no. That is the same data Brentford for and because start playing. So what Brentford they had a squad of over 40 players. They didn't have an academy. So it was a group of people are data oriented people no modi omo team so mkwa Portugal player bi a oh potential say ni data ni good ni akwakofa na banti ask where they got Risa, Ivan Toney, Brandon Bowman, all of these players. So there are a lot of things if when you're so much technical you might not see from the bench and I won't talk sometimes a about teams player people but I didn't tell them be a coach anymore. Maybe we the fans or the spectators who expect goals and assists from the player. But there are one or two things you are not coach goals and assists. But there are some things coach pay. There's a reason why Pep Guardiola won Barcelona. He had Ibrahimovic, who is a goal scorer, prolific goal scorer, but he wasn't playing him. No more Messi number as a false nine. And you say Ibrahimovic as sound, and that's all more the goals but he needed a certain kind of type of player. Obet me a lot of qualities. I want to set up no bit me a now no Madueke going to Arsenal. I think say over the 8 players on Makono, he is very young and he is versatile and he can provide a lot of things to Arsenal team and always be an make I say Kai Havertz, people are saying he was a flop at Chelsea, but when Kai Havertz was Chelsea the goal scoring record was 0.23 averagely, but of course Arsenal I improved it to 0.33 means that Kai Havertz called Chelsea only by arguing said there's been an improvement in the game despite the fact that of course Arsenal he's been getting injured a lot of times. Now and they virus of Madueke and Saka and Martinelli to now any full mommy. Let's compare Madueke, Saka and Martinelli and how Madueke is going to at least improve Arsenal and Empono at the end and Ateta. Then the Arsenal team needs to just so okay. In as much as Madueke, the long one, in as much as Madueke is not providing more goals, is not providing. In fact, to check is over 67 games to our Chelsea in the Premier League. Why just 13 goals? It means that the goals and assets and should I encouraging. But now, we check this comparison. Madueke, Saka, and Martinelli. That is per last season Premier League per 90 games. That is non-penalty per 90 minutes statistics. Where penalty goals beyond count. Now, we check expected goals Madueke was 0.42 ahead of Saka 0.31 and Martinelli. So it tells you that if we go streamer, say Madueke airbo, na say Ateta makes my improving like the way they've improved Kai Havertz, he will become improving on the goal scoring. And as a good coach, who your coach wants to improve player, that means you are not a coach. Now shots are 3.52 per 90 minutes for Madueke. Saka 3.42 and Martinelli 2.15. Medican can say Madueke starts in the Premier League last season, the most of any Chelsea player and also the most of any Arsenal player in that regard. Now, shot on target. Obo 1.41 shot on target. Saka, he needs so prolific, in 1.14 and Martinelli drew 0.98. So shot conversion, Martinelli are ahead of all these players in terms of cross access, and in terms of open play chances. He's not near these Arsenal players. But then, in terms of possession progressive carries, and American can say he is one of the best, especially say Yamfabo Empia. There are only 2 players in the Premier League last season, and it means a progressive carries a resulting in shot on target and a creative chance. Jeremy Doku, any Abranton D, Eddie Sabihu, just 2 players, but anyway, the Premier League, yes, I don't know. And they carries ended in the shots. That is a what you ball. Now they are acquire anymore. Then acquire ending in a shot on target. Madueke had 1.6. Then again, carries ending in assist, goals, or share 7 goals. We penalty goals as Saka Shema Arsenal last season. He scored 7 goals. Saka share 6 goals. That is we the penalty goals ni Freeman. Because
that is non-penalty
goals. Yes, we went on statistics are non-penalty per 90 minutes. And now Obiti said Martinelli share 8 goals. In terms of assist, or provided 4 assists. Martinelli provided 4 assists. So check it Madueke stats. And the shots, the turnovers in the game.
And they have a better players to put the ball at the back of the net, unlike Nicolas Jackson. Obviously a lot of chances.
But even Arsenal, you see, they don't even have a prolific striker. And
but but to be fair,
yes,
to be fair,
say, and yet Jackson Kwampo de check was it 2 days ago?
Yeah.
Me share Madueke games beer. Some of the Arsenal fans were trying to say, in as much as player and improvise assets, there were a lot of clear balls. Odima,
teammates,
Jackson,
they were, yeah.
Palmer, Money, other players are almost squander their chances. No? But then the thing is, say Arsenal for better strikers than Chelsea. And we know because Arsenal strikers last season, Gabriel Jesus didn't play. Can know Arsenal striker last season. He didn't even outscore Chelsea striker. No. But the Arsenal team now say they have players on beat from all angles. But then the thing is, when you are going to Arsenal, there are a lot of things that Obiti say Atetamo. Any Arsenal for beat my improve on non Madueke game. No. Akwa say last season, no. Only Pedro Neto game ne boy. He had this moment, especially game beat say Wolves game no. And Washana or provided idea very good. Say last season there's this starter, yes, Afina Makai. Madueke ebo most of the games, especially for Chelsea from the left side. And Obekaya, one of his best games so far for Chelsea this season was against Liverpool. I both the left side. Then yes, I game na slot card say now Wadani Ronaldo in that game. He played so well. Or Jibwa no behind him in but you see, used to last season, Madueke shorter or boy total shots, especially that is our boy in the Premier League. A moon 35% was shorter or the weaker foot. A boy. So it tells you that if you are going to play this player from the left winger, now say Okati ina, it means that 34% of the shots in or boy in and Madueke from both lands, a moon 35 out of the total shot that Madueke born last season was with a weaker foot. So situation now. Some of the Arsenal fans, no, they have their problems. But the thing is, comparing Saka to the difference between Saka and Noni Madueke can say Saka is consistent for both club and country. So Saka and prior obebo. So there's a reason why Arsenal for the being say 52 million, almost times 2 the Chelsea for the cover player 2 years ago. PSV. Amanababe a backup. As now, if Arsenal eto a right winger in the name of Obite Rodrigo or any other player, it means that the left wing position Madueke is going to be a third choice after Martinelli and whoever they will brought in, and they will buy that player to come in. Now on the left side, a question in the pecking order, you won't pay 52 million for a player say Obabe third choice after and a second choice after Ethan Nwaneri. So Madueke deal no, and I think that the player is going to move, and sometimes deal Biba say players they speak to the coaches and no make it move no. And now clear say Chelsea might not need him, especially for the next 5 years, because already Akwakwa is in the pecking order. Coach ni believe in Pedro Neto. From the left side, most of the times not Obo last season. They brought in Obiti Jamie Gatins, and even if a Tasso boss so crossed them, Joao Pedro can play from that side. And also, they are bringing in Estavel Willian. Chelsea for team players and then the tanker team holding a very high esteem. Oba. And don't forget, say they've already bought Quinda, who's also regarded by data, by statistics, and the potential. Quinda one, he also believes that in the next 2-3 years, he'll become one of the best wingers in Europe. The 2026 summer, he's also coming. It is almost a Madueke, and you say he's a very bad player. Say Chelsea course season, he wouldn't even contribute and no only game time. But the thing is, as a player, when we say we're falling under the pecking order, another club, another team who's also as big as Chelsea, arguably, maybe they might be bigger than Chelsea in terms of one or two things, are all called Arsenal. And then, man assurance they can also give him game time, they can also improve him as a player. And he believes, if Madueke can believe, he said, so Arsenal. Now how am I team taking the chances? Because me anytime I make say Saka and Sangasano. Akwa say chance never da hon and what take and why consistent why clinical onya obeshe one show crana will be provided assist. Now if Odegaard penalty bar is either I think only the first choice penalty taker or Arsenal team no more. And I quite say and Arsenal Hong Kong or call the 3 Lions of England will prove it say movements, big games, and that is what Amasaka Dean Abare say no call Arsenal as some best player. They will mention Saka because in big games he shows up like Obitse Kopama. So who compare Kopama first season to the last season at Chelsea? Wow, almost best more than a month, more than 15 games or 10 games. No share go, but then he was still a key player for Chelsea. So let's make this argument: if Noni Madueke first season at Chelsea, he had great numbers, and now in big games, no decided my Chelsea, and then last season, other P informer was he still going to be untouchable and as a Chelsea beton? That is it. So Bukayo Saka's last time, let me say Bukayo Saka. We're dropping forward, they don't compare Chelsea wingers. People didn't understand. But the thing is, no. We're cementing, we're consistent. They know that this player will prove this point. Yeah. But as a player, young player, over. So once million do that APS level, Kopama in any other day, no one believes that since Chelsea conferred him free City Urban, he was going to be the player. The Chelsea hierarchy will project him say this is one of the best players. You call Spain, US. We've seen the projection. So at times square picture and you're not for the day. So picture and go to is the Chelsea but no more marketing player no? In terms of player jersey sales because one say which check Chelsea team now arguably the biggest player in the setup. So you promote this player. Most of the American fans or more as a American they will buy new jerseys and he's the player that Chelsea fan believes this is our poster boy. So Arsenal Bukayo Saka on poster because 2 seasons ago the numbers no provided and then now because Sakade the numbers no compare Noni Madueke there's no difference.
Okay.
And Obi Beka was a band take on square Madueke it may take you on better saying or no. Yeah. So I think that sometimes
my is a question where what share a Arsenal situation here. My who Arsenal fans be now they've come to agree say play number. Now they are saying say where will he play? Because Saka omu nyaji tu say amafo bebre na believe say Noni Madueke Chelsea fans and I then or either Oma misjudging and I said they overreacted for whatever reason. But omu believe say the talent is there, the quality is there. He just need to sharpen up and also be iron few things because and he's still young. That is how fair-minded people, that is how they analyze him. But I'm challenging and they say, you are not going to replace Bukayo Saka. It will not happen unless Saka Epra and Sana what to me either because then Obia a fitter. Oko Arsenal team no Obia a fitter. Bukayo Saka will get the nod. No coach will take the risk, say, or Mawako do. Oh boy, the quality out there, but Bukayo Saka obviously. One, fans in this show displeasure say no, we don't want you to the extent so my signing petition near there. Moka so mon pen. Osha Chelsea, only Pedro Neto and pray that position. I feel nice to vow bed ever beba. Do only Pedro Neto and last season Pedro Neto by right, you were able to still get larger amount of playing time than Pedro Neto. You got a year picked for crucial games ahead of a year Pedro Neto. Why will Noni Madueke accept to leave Chelsea? Say supporters and then Empel wasema. Obviously, Arsenal supporters will show displeasure. Say Empel, like Empel wasem naturally. So it will be down to Chelsea, remember say penny for Arsenal penny for coaches near there, 2 coaches near there, right? Because supporters 2 na show sell money the one pel. In terms of positioning, baby a ubenya biabo. You are rest assured say Chelsea ubenya biabo because of coach no. Though omukofa na our coach ni any opportunity class obetima ball. Palmer. Yeah. Now about Felix any Nkuku as number 10. What I say? Yet, Omo ye de omo pick you ahead of Felix Nkuku, then Nkuku mu bench. You were getting opportunity to play. Why will a player knowing say a high condition is okay? Obeji a more bigger task. Say Obeko Arsenal instead of Chelsea.
Yes, one say before me hear Mr. Minikanka say when we say next season in a pecking order. Since although only Pedro Neto, they all scored same and they all provided in the same amount of goals for Chelsea. 10 goals in 10 goals in goals and assists. That is 10 for Noni Madueke. He scored 7, no provided 3. Pedro share 4, no provided 6 assists. But then Akwakwe say Pedro Neto. Now only me say in terms of the right wing position, if who choose Obia, it's going to be Pedro Neto first. And now Estavio is also coming in. So with Noni Madueke, he who say the future at Chelsea and Sankasan, they are not guaranteed. And on Campono, there have been issues that disciplinary issues about sometimes he's not on yet as on your active training man and the Chelsea team feels were improving, but they also believe that if who will beat the Noni Madueke, who will Pedro Neto, now who they Estavio Eba 2 years next year, Queen Daiba, some of these players, almost development, no. These Americans, they are doing business. They will buy in more players. Why, Besha? You will be very important for the team. You will keep you, then we will sell you a your profit. Now, to Arsenal, then used to when you start on Madueke Chelsea, I give 50,000 a week. 50,000. Going to Arsenal, one you cry, 100,000. Either they will double or they will triple the money. And you're likely for Noni Madueke going 50,000 because of which Eban or no because of free England PSV. Before at the age of 16, he's not regarded as a homegrown player. So Orban, Niska Noji or PSV, still now say academy boys wages near Tum Kakra. So about Chelsea no, or 2.6 million per season. So Arsenal, the player no when any opportunity. And now, and I'm say before we move to Arsenal, definitely he will have conversation with the Arsenal team, you know. And no check it and medical. This player, difference on Bukayo Saka and say Saka was consistent 2 seasons ago.
So you believe so bet to Saka?
Yes, there's the competition Obenyo Biabo. That's it. And
last season, Obenyo Biabo.
Yes.
Okay.
And
so
and I said
yes obetu Saka.
And but last season Saka, how many games Crown of Pride? He wasn't consistent because of injury. And last season the reason why Arsenal in League now is say, hey, Arsenal doesn't have the squad depth. But the fact that Uwe Bukayo Saka doesn't mean say you shouldn't go in for a player I believe say potentially Obetima to Bukayo Saka.
What's no be pushing Saka to that because yes. England national team. Yes.
And Oko Onya a friend is saying call up England national team. He's been scoring goals Noni Madueke. So the thing is Arsenal for no, they are trying to get arguably two equally players because you see Lewis Kelly, Akwa said the left back position on the ball. Balisto said the Ricardo Calafiori, ne performance no done edi wo Bologna or boy the Italian national team. Now the Gabriel Magalhaes, excluding the experience in the Premier League, these two defenders are they too far?
No.
Yes. You compare Julian Timber and Ben White, are they too far?
No.
Now Declan Rice Merino the Spanish national team say ye Pedro Frima and ye another Mayfair Frima Obamuna. Is it too far from Obit said Declan Rice? So they are building that team say a grade A players and they bring on what every positioner. What Mikel Arteta was the coach for Man City. When they have Riyad Mahrez, they went to buy Bernardo Silva, who was then the best left winger in the French league from Bologna.
Okay. Yeah, China, moving on. Does this signing mean Arsenal are getting closer to the league title? And I say too early. Arsenal, and they will need to make more signings. What? Because now it appears that Omu team unlike before, it appears a first 11 panel. Now you can say that because Norgard, he's a Premier League proven, experienced, 30-year-old. What I say?
He's come to cover Zubimendi.
Yes, or cover Zubimendi. They already have a year Merino. I will declare Rice or whatever. What I say? So they are stuck. Oko right back they are really stuck. Ben White and Julian Timber, they are almost the same in terms of quality and whatever they bring. Their defense and also they are solid.
Yeah.
Kyo, I think they were settled with what he did against Real Madrid. He's also a good now. Even Kepa,
yes.
Even getting Kepa,
yes.
What he
last season at Bournemouth, he was one of the best
goalkeeper, and what he did for Madrid.
Yeah.
They would have loved for him to stay, but just that Lunin and
the wages too, because we check Kepa wage and any Lunin wage.
No. I'm looking at what he no we acquire. Say no about
at that time
loan
so they were,
to make it permanent.
Say, "Oh my permanent as Kepa may just going on na bench." Meanwhile, Lunin so approves that when Kepa was not there, Nana Tiboko to anyone or that almost
so Lunin in Tina Emma way. But in terms of quality and what he added, it was evident for everybody. Now this is a guy Kwako joining Arsenal. Kwako give him a tougher competition because players there you never know. Player bet me two at any point in time. But the type of what do we call it? Competition how the be mobi and the how we reacted to.
Yeah.
What I say? Into what they Obi to say your friends say you almost small boy almost promoting the Chelsea person almost. Somebody like Waneri. Honoma. Bukayo Saka home kika do a professional but na home kika and now who noni madweke no. What I say? Because someone in also fighting for English national team. Yeah. The same sport I know mutu ni I fighting for. And they have a Bowen so also teteho. So what I say? So I think yes, Senegal can do he's expensive but they are buying expensive cover. For me, I think that maybe they want to use him as senior coach a friend Hansi Flick used Rafinha Barcelona. Yeah. And Omutu no difference man say it appears that Rafinha crowd in terms of dribbling no no ni Madueke much better dribbler than him no better finisher. Yeah. Than Noni Madueke. And Madueke is still 23 too. You can understand. So wait me at the Apple share it's as a striker at the Benny we aren't
and we shouldn't forget say Omania striker. Gabriel Jesus is still their player. Injuries into like Onya.
But only they cannot.
But if Gabriel Jesus is there, he can still be the second striker. And
Havertz too is still there.
So you obey to
Charlie. And Arsenal team no Charlie.
So he
no. You see the sign of giving them Madueke was bad because see and any concern na komutumi nye obi replace Saka. What Adiana was saying teams na avoiding is Arsenal to me nye obi even push.
Never avoid Arsenal. Or Nisika do bit makoto.
There be Saka we no ka obet me arrange a turn the na Newcastle and other way. Because if you wanted to sell him, you know, coach teams, they can hire agents.
And also, as a Chelsea fan, and he's a carton player.
The new was a carton player, because me, I feel say, I feel say Chelsea will not miss him because Chelsea are rebuilding. It is a player be Pedro need to improve from last season automatically. OBBT, I no need Madueke numbers.
Yeah,
what I say. So we will not miss him. But we are making Arsenal a better side. What I say? Because last season Arsenal we need 20 games, Chelsea we need 20 games. So it appears that a coach in the first season. It appears that the Gabo no Ibiasa. What I say? But the moment Oberman player, you say, though he can be frustrating, but perhaps the environment I know one how our coach believe in him. Any of their nina account a bit to disturb player. Now he has gotten a coach. What did you win? Maybe a coach na mano. Where the search me project no I will rely on you and just and you know I take a sign player no mano. So assurances now. You know what happens. Yeah. Obeto England keeper no.
Ramsdale.
Solid goalkeeper, super goalkeeper. All of a sudden, you hear now, what dropping no. Obi at some point, crying na 3 Lions, or more pushes on number 1 no. What dropping no. Ben White, all of a sudden, what dropping Matimba heading, airbo. Yeah, other players, I mean, to say, Obama Young, when they are in your clear, Omunina, Carvet. He brought Carvet in, and so I fit him go on starting. What I say. So let's see how it goes. But I think that hopefully we might not see a year Mohamed Salah, any a year Kevin De Bruyne issue this see, you know. Kebesa be ya papa. Kwasi na phone there. Ebe ya. Who's a Liverpool phone put them over, they don't rub it in our faces.
Yeah.
Any and the Man City fan rub it, but Arsenal they will rub it in your face. My say near there. Ya baba jimo my we near there. Hopefully, but in me who know say with the profile and the quality na a crowd on the potential no. I think say we might regret selling him to Arsenal, not because maybe I am feno and I say bibi o nti you move on na you mehwe Chelsea ne game no Chelsea ne
Paris
Saint-Germain game no.
Yes, a FIFA Club World Cup no I think is one competition almost says almost bonache and competition bia and him say competition bia we are seeing bia kwan bia so no history bia a back competition in kakra. In the FIFA Club World Cup almost started and it was the Brazilian teams that now dominating for 5 different series and Sana Barcelona and then the first European club Otimi Dien Hutimi Remo onumpo share and Argentinian team Otimi share no etimi set that standard them European teams and the Europeans has been dominating Bepimene. You said there's a game Obi say on the night these are 2 quality teams and 2 teams never be shiano. And my CCRT as a football no and your experience be near the ball because we FIFA Club World Cup we of course 3 teams and anom kuta the youngest squad in the competition. We RB Leipzig anom age 21 plus the next team Chelsea and 22 and Sana where all the way by a friend is saying Paris Saint-Germain almost age we no average age near 23 plus. Into any 2 young teams and they're going to a final. 2 coaches are they are tactically good. A band they say they reading games, taking advantage of their opponent, looking at their opponent, ups and downs. Bibia Eboa, some bit me I take advantage. Into any a good final. You said Nkofo be error be the thing of okay Paris Saint-Germain or Shia final or my big teams they feel small. Or mushe team be or mope. But this will be a final. Enzo Maresca, my ati say any game be obekomuno. He prepares so well. Mekanite an interview be before the Robertis final. Or show how many Robertis games or share we show. In I don't think say he will just sit down because Namia don't know anyone to make do final. He will go into this game, explore team a friend of Paris Saint-Germain on games on my ball. And then I think there are 3 crucial games and now 4 crucial games as Enzo Maresca so send your bit me defeated this Paris Saint-Germain team so team share. 1 Paris Saint-Germain recent game on bar against Botafogo. The second one Paris Saint-Germain second leg against Aston Villa of England. The third one Paris Saint-Germain in Liverpool France. And Sana Paris Saint-Germain Omune Bayern also in this competition. These are 4 games a bet channel the real Paris Saint-Germain how to dominate them and how to also play with them. Yanko history kaka FIFA Club World Cup no. Now I think history with the Chelsea fans any be year. With the FIFA Club World Cup, every time I'm sure say be team be about as the home team energy cup no. Something similar to the Champions League. The last time Chelsea bought FIFA Club World Cup final, I won it 2 times. The first one against team friend of Palmeiras and not Chelsea. And Corinthians now born as their away team no Okunusu 1-0. Or share the recent one winning or boy as a home team and winning. So share records now. About is a team be or boy as a home team no. The possibility of they winning the competition at the back where also. This would be a crucial game for both teams. Since both teams in the lineup, I think we have Paris Saint-Germain there wouldn't be enough like changes baby, especially the way the name say Luis Enrique set up the team. Donnarumma, the only player who will be missing out of the team there Pacho. And Oshe Pacho missing out of the team, meaning say Chelsea would now can explore that centre back position because that's Bernard. Any Bernardo any a friend is a Marquinhos omo ma sa speed na pacho at the mount and Enzo Maresca and no 1 point or the best into the game. I think players as a Chelsea in this Paris Saint-Germain setup, Desire Day and also Kvaratskhelia and Dembele. This front three are very dangerous. Paris Saint-Germain than the Chelsea of Real Madrid game say if they see say Unfinfin why you say Marquia, the likes of João Neves, the likes of Fabian Luiz would get into your box and get those second balls on the best show. And I would know that Chelsea would go in with a strict midfield battle with them. Strict one midfield battle. Into any Kvaratskhelia Desire they would be players now Chelsea needs to stop them and now they will frustrate Paris Saint-Germain. Mesan can say Paris Saint-Germain the team their games on-bomb games in sections. They come in the first 30 minutes to frustrate you, press you so high, saying you'll be mistakes. And on me a team the moment I'm feeling I'd say shark and who's a moja as soon as you know. Obechi see a copy so me baby a the moment I'm feeling say you are panicking, no. On be pressure sa copy so mbenya that 1, 2, 3 goals. Now they will slow the game. Into almost first 30 minutes, they come in so well. Then the last 15 minutes, Oma possess ball ni that is where Vertinha move. Then in the second half, Oma press so first 15 minutes. Now for the remaining 30 minutes, no more slow game. But that first 15 minutes, now come we. Now the last 30 minutes, Omo slow game no. Into who against Madrid in the last 30 minutes, we need key players in that film because he wants to rest them for the final. Into this will be one good game for Enzo Maresca. If Enzo Maresca person Chelsea fans they say he's one of the best coaches he would be Chelsea can have, this is a good test for him. Say Chelsea lose to Paris Saint-Germain. Now even it's a comfortable result for Paris Saint-Germain, but Chelsea plays so well. I think Chelsea fans would be encouraged going into next season because Minjin this a Chelsea fan be our anchor be saying say FIFA Club World Cup never starting on the Paris Saint-Germain bubble final and can nimpo beje chain say be your beje cap. So I think Enzo Maresca would have a lot to do. Some of the players in would have a lot to do in this game to be able to prove say they are world class players and they want to put up way. Into my mirror Chelsea lineup mukakra. I think that with these two lineups, Inyama betimi akoye na miya macheche mu ti nimse virus e de beto so amamia. The first lineup no. Yes, into we put a second lineup no yes, we a second lineup but into the church and we are na first one. Into the first lineup, I think if Chelsea episode battle that midfield strength with your friend is saying team my friend Paris Saint-Germain so to box you 1v1 e won finfin ho. Now person 1v1 na o Chelsea finfin me and somewhere in Calavia e fita e ba be a good balance for Chelsea. But Lavia ni me say Andre Santos e ba the FIFA Club World Cup player why most tackles, most successful tackles on the kind or yen within just one game. And no share the quality or timid at the bra Chelsea. Now who echiwo na me who say nkofo be castle Chelsea bebo mid block they are here the likes of Tosin. But I think said there be this game Tosin experience or Bonnie Born or Yebibia, but Tosin in this game would be a big blow for Chelsea. So a back four of Rhys James, Chalobah, Levi Cole, and Cucurella would be very good. Then na in Finfin on the senior mechanic, Andre Santos, your friend is saying Caicedo, any Enzo Fernandez. These are three quality players on the ball, off the ball. They can do anything you need in the game. In Real Madrid, they couldn't press Paris Saint-Germain well. Andre Santos is very good in pressing, recovering. Caicedo what he can do. Enzo Fernandez to see the other kind of game, making sure so cover a lot of grounds in the game. Then up front, we would have Pedro Neto, João Pedro, and Cole Palmer coming in a bit imagine the way Enzo Maresca person set up. Or bet me allow way that is Enzo Fernandez to go up front to be that half space is not bekono. Or the likes of Rhys James or Cucurella can now overlap. Send you bet me way to be able to match Paris Saint-Germain boot to boot. At the end I think say Pedro Neto should play from the left wing. They say Paris Saint-Germain are pressing more on their right side. No? Into who say the likes of Desire Day, Dembele in Amo, Hakim in Amo. So you need somebody to help Cucurella to be able to match Paris Saint-Germain boot to boot. Into this lineup will be a good lineup as a Maresca Beko for with one or two structure and strategies be a bit me abuano. Into the second the second lineup no. Yes, with the second lineup Ninsuni, that is the normal 4-2-3-1 na your tie kofo no. I think this would also be good for Chelsea. They say with the 4-2-3-1, in Maresca every time was set up Sana. It's more of a 3-back with 2 in the middle, 4 and a 1. I included Dilap in this game. I mean, Andre Santos. They say Paris Saint-Germain. Say I'm a boss. Their game against Aston Villa, their game against Liverpool. Say opese ultimate dominate Paris Saint-Germain. Sa on first press now. And so with one type of football. No. Get the ball to your striker. No ultimate so to be able to move the ball from there. It do baby you who send your moye Dembele start pressing no from 18-yard box no. Into any send your pressure and Chelsea so no. Sanchez they say Timinya say Chelsea bought this lineup the best player I'll be to perform me about Chelsea Sanchez getting that ball quality balls into play for any Dilap in himself or strength and the ability to hold the ball then the likes of Cole Palmer and Joao Pedro beat me in those spaces na manya met me I think Maresca himself out of these two lineups or befa bako and the performance what done in this FIFA Club World Cup say every game was steadying the opponent and no making sure say performance ni konim. In this game, make me a Chelsea fan be able say if the game ends 0-0 in the first half, Maresca would outsmart Luis Enrique in the second half because Luis Enrique games all boni nano is based on the first half. When the first half,
and first early win.
Yes, you who against Inter Milan, you who against Atletico Madrid, you who against Inter Miami, you who recent one against Real Madrid.
Botafogo for no.
And you meant me not the first half one to Botafogo be sudden. So if Otimi Miani in the first half, and one thing I'm saying who about Enzo Maresca game, they say he studies the first half very well. In the second half, no, or a lot of changes in his game. In the Chelsea beat me a dominating game, they need to get the first 30 minutes, the first 45 minutes right. Errors, any Nyama they beat me a Chelsea, but I think say boot to boot, player to player. Chelsea would be able to mark them. The likes of Rhys James, I think Kvaratskhelia would have a difficult customer to play with. Cucurella and Desire they would also have a difficult customer. With this game, Mihun is a game they beat me a stretch it to an extra time or one team would win. I'm not seeing a lot of goals in it. Teams will be a better compact. Luis Enrique can't say this Chelsea team is a very good team. Now, meaning say he has that thing within himself. Time or by Chelsea ever presenting the project with these same players to Todd Bowling in Crawford. Into any players ni be wa profile omoda. Unimadi ombetimi. The only thing is a Maresca improve 1 or 2 more. He will still want to get the best out of Paris Saint-Germain so that they can dominate the world. Who say in the last FIFA Club World Cup, the Champions League winners, no, and Ababi winning. They have everything behind them, but I think history back Chelsea in this final. Okay.
So I think finally the FIFA Club World Cup in the very Sunday and UEFA Champions League winner PSG finally nanke anytime be a Champions League no semi-final no abo but then it drew PSG nkwan so much yasasa format na every 4 years but then in recent times for almost close to more than a decade teams are omoje Champions League omoje this tournament and the only team oje the Champions League when team anje the FIFA Club World Cup in recent times since 2012 2010 ever was Chelsea. Chelsea was the only team or G Champions League one team and the FIFA Club World Cup in recent times. And I think the game against PSG will be an interesting game. So we'll share this game now. Since Omone Madrid Bowie many time I share Omone Strasbourg game Strasbourg share PSG 2-1. Many time I share PSG game I only need boy I need share 3-1. And I've also watched the Champions League game who commentary again Darwin Nunez Bermu Oma Elliott ebenya go ni share and then again their game against Aston Villa or Villa Park and I could remember so much that my preview to that game and analyst am here say that game no if PSG and I say if Aston Villa they are able to load the midfield they can worry team and then the PSG. And you see, all the PSG team now, how they set up, of late, Chelsea set up, especially in the FIFA Club World Cup, is identical to PSG setup. One winger will hold the weight. One fullback will also hold the weight at the other side. Ntuko PSG team at the left side, Bicha Kvaratskhelia. When PSG for press here, you will see Kvaratskhelia being part of the moment pressing. Always, if they are pressing, Dembele, Desire Due, and I say if Bracola start here, Dembele, Bracola, then Fabian Ruiz or Joao Neves will also be behind them. Then they will start the press from there. Into no boy. Not me who will do the midfield. And I was asking a question. Vitinha, is it too much of a baller more than Enzo Fernandez? Despite the fact that my final look like a preseason game. See what they did to Real Madrid. But then they are not a team their game against Botafogo. So far as the picture be to so Botafogo go no more share. Botafogo was currently defending his various pictures now. White players white from the first picture. It was Inter PSG for Nikita ball. Into be Vitinha, be Joao Pedro and Vicha Kvaratskhelia encore the first one there midfield no. Then Botafogo for no encore back. Botafogo for the players 4 pressing these 3 players. So this was the moment Botafogo for the game they were defending 9 players in front of Omo box no major Igor Jesus anymore. So at this moment 4 players crowded in the midfield and Omo press J-ball and you see PSG players omo ball high na but omo high line too high to say Barca there. So at this moment player no original animo echiri ho no obi a defender. So at that moment that was Berardo. So at that moment when omo J-ball na a pass to the next next picture na mami. The next picture now player no press Kvaratskhelia. That was a pass from Vitinha to Kvaratskhelia. Or pass the ball na see. Akwa Igor Jesus. And PSG midfielders now behind him. That's Hakimi or Rani Odinachiba. Then I got 2 players. That is William Pacho and Marquinhos. And at this moment, Igor Jesus or the ball for Mami and Untem and or war born so 2 defenders in 2 national just or don't move baby. The virus for next picture, mami. You see the next picture and the what 2 Marquinhos are 2 baby. I feel like William Pacho then or shoot it from there or the share goal. So it means PSG team no. I didn't say they have ways and means of winning game. Yes, the reason why that moment exception is that they don't have one way of build up, especially against Liverpool or about Anfield. Because Liverpool how build up. Last season they will attempt the pressure to one side. So always they have players or more with and they have players they can play the right passes at the right time. So there is a reason why Luis Enrique and the Mbappe Equatina video room HN say you are a leader. In as much as somebody 30 goals this season. People are saying say na Luis Enrique. People will not believe say Kylian Mbappe the best ever season at PSG. That is in terms of goals and numbers, assists. Onya under Luis Enrique. That is last season before maybe about Real Madrid. So he has his best season at PSG before all call Real Madrid. But the thing is, coach no say Mbappe amount 40 goals plus that season. But collectively, he lacks something on team for my team no. And when Mbappe free team no, almost the tax number Dembele say if Dembele is able to convert some of the chances he creates, now ultimately as a team, ultimately do more attack no e press here. Dembele stacking up more numbers, and finally this season he's one of the players the Upe Ballon d'Or contender this season. You mentioned 2 players are more Dembele. And now the mechanics when Dembele was Barca, there were a lot of things. He was injury free at Rennes. He was injury free at Dortmund. But Barca, Obenya 14 muscle injuries. Almost 780 something days or missing out from Barca. And there were reports of Australia now for Mubo game. But when or worrying a long-term girlfriend oh Morocco or who but owns a chalice is my baby papa into my money and the you remember quarantine responsibilities so that was when he also changed as a person, the mentality changed here. And now see the wonders coaching can. Luis Enrique said he will have one player scoring 40 goals than to have 5 to 6 players scoring 12 goals for you. So collectively, team Russia, everybody is doing everything right. From Donnarumma to the defense, to the midfield, and to the attackers. They press very well. If they are pressing, or more build up. Because in terms of style of play, who misplaces pass. There's a reason why Chelsea fans obey Sanchez, because Chelsea plays from the back in recent times. About the saves, they be a money one because all the Sanchez saves, you are not being fair. But then the error leading to goals, 5 mistakes already in the last season was the build up. And you see, if Chelsea can win this game, they have to get their passes right. Starting from Obi to say Sanchez. Because Dembele desire they will press. So more personal Sanchez pressure for no I'm shrinking the passes near and at 20 minutes Chelsea can take 2. They said Madi can capture almost came against Madrid then. They dominated the game. But their first 2 goals wasn't a goal. Sabeka said PSG in a creative chances no question. Asensio Ajibo in the box. At that time, the last time in the picture no player was closer. At that time Ajibo no box. No PSG player was which was Dembele. And even Madrid players were even closer to, but because of bad first touch, and then how Dembele pressing, he got the ball first, and then they keep on so by. Then Fabian Ruiz, he wasn't even closer to the ball than Valverde. But then anticipation of Kokoji Bonoboshe. See Rudiger ball under normal circumstance. There's a picture be a minute to me. Best variance of Antos na analysis be. When Rudiger nya ball these two. He had several ways and I said simple passes bia and kobet me abo and carbon ain't me emfa gomba me babe highlight say nanka various atoso amame e no production materials ni bi ho when Rudiger nya ball no na kobet me abo a first one touch to Frank Garcia but because of how normal press no any pressure and intensity no or the sanity akwa koto a and then soldier man it sounds so quite a mistake. In the virus where I'm highlighting, that was when Rudiger nya ball. Onya ball Dembele air pressing from the right side. But don't check Rudiger left side. Frank Garcia daho. But then there was one player move it to him. That was Desire Dre move it to Frank Garcia so quickly. But then Rudiger was so confident. Usha another player that has it. That was Adagula. Oh, that freely could be to me the ball now. But because of pressure no more present Rudiger the air and say my control ball in komechi na me pass and control ball in komechi and opa manches ball the whole but the knife for ball no typically of Rudiger Metman can say one of the best worst ever game since joining Real Madrid team into that first 2 goals under 10 minutes na PSG share no was a result of how they press and a part of Omu team no how collectively they are and again their third goal, almost pressure no call the left side, quick transition hand list to picture in. How really getting a ball no. See the yes. And I say Obama ko you don't touch the ball. What they show? Share player no that left side. That's Frank Garcia. Yeah, that's Frank Garcia and Adagula and Ebeno. Quick one touch to Adagula 10 no dem Frank Garcia G na or share akwa 3v3 that is against PSG Madrid. So in as much as Madrid and pressing him, they couldn't match the collective display of PSG. Okay. Now, how can Chelsea stop them? Chelsea team was started from the back. Madika said, if Chelsea knew more passes straight, especially if they're able to beat 3 or 4 of Real Madrid PSG press in the first half, they can cause up because at that moment, Chelsea will do it. If Hakimi press here, whoever will play from the left side will take the opportunity from there. If you play Neto at the left side, because of Neto pace, especially in the Club World Cup, only in take-ons. Okay. So he will give Nuno Mendes a tough time because of the pace and the intensity in the game. And then another midfield, crucial midfielders say who compare man-to-man player attribute quality. Caicedo, João Neves, they are not far. Enzo Vitinha, who check Enzo Fernandez starts in the player. Currently, 2 players people believe that aside from maybe the forward Pedro Neto no more match goals, no matter when the golden boy, they are mentioning Enzo Fernandez and Vitinha. Fabian Ruiz is so much better than Obite Kopama. And now you need say Chelsea will have to take their chances because Donnarumma will be there to make crucial saves.
Sure.
And to win our chances, no one take care. So the game will be very nice.
Okay.
PSG first, I know that Chelsea will press. PSG first, so 8 me BT press, and that's somebody it will be very deadly for Chelsea. You know, several times against Fluminense. When Fluminense were able to beat Chelsea press, Abako. Kukurela, so I think that if Caicedo is fit, Lavia the situation and Shedan too clear. But then my thing said in this game it's going to be an interesting game. We should expect a lot of goals in this game. How our teams need pressing, any the intensity our teams need bono. You should expect over 3.5 goals in this game. How our two teams need bono. We should expect corners in this game.
Okay.
Definitely, Obiabe possesses the game, but all the coaches wants to get control of the ball. But one of them will get control of the ball and they will all play direct attacking football. I think the game will be very key. Me, PSG, they are clear favorites. But if Chelsea are, people shouldn't be surprised.
Right. Claire said, no copper here, but me the crave about this particular game. It is important, say, Chelsea players, where say they have opportunity to test their quality, their resilience, and their maturity. And I know say they are aware of this. Mostly John Terry, Monet, and DJ Drogba will try sending them videos and all that. We'll call them and motivate them near there. So hopefully in terms of being ready mentally, I think they will be ready mentally. I'm not sure say a player after going through all this tough time, we are near there by this time, Camus holidays near there. You go through all this to the final, and then you go and give your team away. It happened against a Real Betis, the crucial starting game now, and a player at the ball coach. Then Chelsea was punished, and in that game after that, they panicked because some a young team. I'm panicking, Real Betis had a lot of chances, but they couldn't take the second goal. They couldn't take it, and obviously second half, when a team like Chelsea by second half with only one goal down, you would expect them to react, and they reacted, and Chelsea scored. So I want to believe that team grow and learn something from it. That if you realize, say, where you are losing the ball at dangerous positions, you can play to throw. Let your players come and support you in defending. It is rather better, better than say Obe tries to hold you onto the ball. You give the ball away, and you get punished. Paris Saint-Germain at the end of the year, Real Madrid. It was basically Real Madrid decided to be lackadaisical on the day. Give the ball away to them. Look at the first goal. Goal under no circumstances and can cause any danger because only Paris Saint-Germain player about Coupe and I were boxing him at the time, crossing here there by. Then I sense you, then the right you control the baton the left, then all clear ball and I press nearby omoje ball ni finish and omoye de share. So it was basically a year, but then Rudiger, senior player, at that stage, a quality team like that, 2 up, you are not coming back. So what the Chelsea players can learn from this game is making sure say they will not give any chance easily to a Paris Saint-Germain. If they are able to do that, I have no doubt that Chelsea will take their moment, and it has happened in this competition. They always take their moment. Unlike Chelsea in the past, will be creating 5-6 chances before we take one, and as we take one 5-6 beba no take it back okran vanka ona fe ababe ya babe take ano ansana all the time biano they take their chance. So have one chance na but mu take it, then say any opponent na be force themselves back into the game. They do that, but now that is what I'm seeing. It is clear, sir. I was a Rich James starting game way. and Abranti Efreno Chaloba will pair with Kowo. Sanchez will be imposed and Cucurella will start. Midfield 3 no. Ena akoye baby you know adwen ayene de ewo say do you still go with the normal Caicedo, Enzo, then Kopama? If that happens, then Kopama will have a lot of work to do. Will have a lot of grounds to cover. Is he ready to do that? I think he is ready to do that. He will be ready to do that. So I will not be surprised that Enzo Maresca will go with the same system now against Fluminense. This time around, will rely on the counter break. And Obe rely on counter breaker. He will want somebody like Kopama to play deep. Say Kaya Chelsea against Newcastle. It was similar. Omo be pressé omo normal defending there. Then counter break omo the ball ne ball so. Like against Nottingham Forest. Chelsea decided not to try to play from the back, and I think that is what the coach is going to do. The coach will not play from the back for Sanchez to go and give the ball away, or any player to give the ball away. It is it is bound to happen if Omo allow ball from the back. A player who dash the ball, be resulted to a dangerous situation, and the coach is too smart to do that. But Botafogo show how to stop this particular team. Bayern Munich didn't press them. What they did is almost mid and low block. And it is clear that Chelsea can do that, and Chelsea has been doing that. Mid and low block. Making sure say yes. When they are passing from the back, you have 2 players. Almost press no. Unlike ABA, bear 3-4 players. Almost be high press. Then natural for no so support him. No. This one, what he will do is that he will rely on Abranti Ayefreno, Pedro Neto, not even Pedro Neto, Joao Pedro and Dilap. He will use these 2 players to lead the press. Say 2 players, press it, to force them not to have the comfortable way, to close the middle channels, or to try and block the passing channel to Abranti Efreno Vitina. You just allow the fullbacks to rather do their thing. Then the mid block, but then the low block will also come in. Cucurella will have a lot of work to do, same as Rich James. Yen say who can experience players or more Chelsea team. And these 2 players, experienced players, they've met world beaters and they've been able to stop world beaters. It is going to be a tough game. I will not lie to you. A lot of corners, Chelsea be game. Committee a lot of fouls in this particular game. Committee a lot of professional fouls in this particular game. The first 15 minutes will be crucial in this game. If Chelsea first 15 minutes, so Chelsea and concede goal, Chelsea will carry the day. Chelsea will win the trophy. Even if it's a penalty shootout, Chelsea will win on the day. If only Chelsea, to me, in the first 15 minutes, Chelsea and concede goal, Chelsea will win the game. I think say yamre na ekoye papa. Nyame ya adoma Monday e beba na afi de akachi ni nyina ya de Abraham. Within the list to Ote Benedict Nkasa so and Ote Vincent Nka. Monday e be say shia na ya be review the Club World Cup.